We live in the Wellington region and we love it here. However, we also know that the region is vulnerable to earthquakes. We've known this for a long time, obviously. And it's a matter of when, not if, the region is affected by a major earthquake. So the Wellington Lifelines group ran a project in which we created a state-of-the-art model in which we could work out what the damage to infrastructure would be following a rupture of the Wellington fault. The reason we used that event was that not only do you get the shaking and the effects of the earthquake, but also you get the breakage, the rupture, which obviously affects the buried pipes and cables and also affects the roads and the rails running over the fault. That model looks across all infrastructure types: road, rail, port, electricity, gas, water, telecommunications, the lot. And it modelled what the damage would be, not just the damage to the infrastructure, but also the outage times, how long the infrastructure would be unavailable after a quake. It's a very clever model which matches the amount of shaking and the damage effects from the earthquake with the electronic copies of the infrastructure. So from this model, we actually have a pretty good idea of how much damage there will be and how long the infrastructure will be unavailable. Having that base case model was then really powerful for us, because what we could then do was swap out some of the infrastructure. So swap out some of the pipes with new pipes, build a new road, whatever it was. And for that, we could use projects or infrastructure that the Lifeline utilities already knew about. We could then see the benefits of building the new infrastructure. So we had the base case, how long will the outages be? We had the new case, how long would the outages be? And that way we could see the benefits of building the new infrastructure, not just in terms of shorter outage times, but also the economic benefits.
So the second really cool thing we did was build an economic model of the Wellington region. What this showed is if we do nothing, we will suffer $16 billion in economic losses over 5 years. However, if we build our infrastructure project, it will drop to 10 billion, which will save our region $6 billion. This loss is because if you don't have resilient infrastructure, it fails and people leave and the economy tanks as a result. And we know this from our Christchurch experiences. So resilient infrastructure that can support a population is really, really important. The next thing we looked at is what would we need to do to get this resilience in. And the good news is they're already planned. They're planned out over 50 years. All the major projects are known. What we tried to do was bring them forward so it's done in 20 years to give us a level of protection earlier. It's really also important that you look at it as a whole. What we found is that dependencies are really important. For example, it's no use investing in a really resilient water network if our power network is not equally resilient, because you need power to pump the water. So everything needs to be considered together. So at the end, we sort of found a cost of $3.6 billion, but benefits of $6 billion, which we think is really, really compelling. And that's only looking at this from a resilience point of view. It doesn't consider all the other benefits you get from implementing these projects.